in the loop AI learning. So I'll just show you why, and we'll have a discussion after that as well. So this is Christopher Nolan. I think many of us will be knowing his movies, Inception, Interstellar, and whatnot. He recently won the Oscars for Oppenheimer. So I think most of you would have watched this scene, right, where the people they navigate in the stars. It's a dream sequence, but he actually recommends shooting it in real. He could have actually easily used a green mat for this, but he recommended shooting it in real because he doesn't want to cheat the audience, and he also feels you get the best out of the actor only when you do it real. So he made a rotator and he rotated it so that they can walk through it 360-degree. He did the same thing for Interstellar as well. All the things that you see was actually really shot. There was no graphics, minimal graphics, or he doesn't use graphics at all in his film. But generative AI, so these are things that I also learned very recently for the talk, as well as how we can actually use it or not use it. So generative AI, as far as I know, it is a brain of its own, that it inherits certain capabilities like art designing, music, as Aditya was pointing out, right? Fraud detection and customer behavior analysis and whatnot. So generative AI models, I just wanted to give some video based examples rather than more of theory. So for example, see, it comes with, this is a 3.5 chat GPT. How can I help me today? I'm just putting it. Can you give me social media marketing strategies? It gives you n number of strategies. As you type, it works for you. The brain is actually not being used. That is always dangerous. See, the machine is actually now taking the lead and telling these are all the things that you can actually do, and it is actually helping us get the presentation ready in a way which I am not really advocating. So again, you can see this is another part where you can refresh and you can also get even more. Defining your goals, identifying your target audience, choosing the right platform. Of course, you can use it, but always you need to study for social media marketing what is that your locality or your region wants, what is that your region demands, and give it more customized. This is like a textbook. Just take a pinch of salt and then you customize it by using human intelligence called human in the loop machine learning and not generative AI. But again, I just wanted you to show the flip side of it, of what generative AI is doing, and how, at the example at the last, how we are actually making an image for an artificial image or even an AI generated image. So see this again. These things are very scary, my dear friends. A human eye with, this is deep dream generator, a human eye with the ocean instead of the iris. I'm just typing it and you can see that search. This is removing the creativity part from us. You see how much of things you are getting. A human eye instead of a ocean. See, the iris has now become an ocean, and these are images that are generated. This is not good actually. So I think we are now coming up with a lot of artificial intelligence competitions. ASCRS has a separate competition for After Effects. There is a category called After Effects, which is one of the high profile categories which I participate every year, where I will show you how I make my images, not like this. So this is something which is very scary because this takes away the creativity part of it. See, just 30 seconds you type whatever you want and you can get an image. So this is very bad for creativity part of it. I don't know how to put it more than that, because this is actually human. Where is the human intelligence here? Just typing is what is human intelligence. That is very dangerous. But again, this is another video of human eyes with logo reflecting on it. I'm just forwarding it. See again, these are videos that you can use for maybe your YouTube videos or for some of the GIFs that you want to make for a OPL video or for a presentation, or even for social media marketing. This is fine. A video of a human eye reflecting with logos. Yeah, for marketing definitely you can use your eye logo or your logo that you are having in your hospital, right? You can definitely use it and it will sound very unique for your campaigns in YouTube or for your social medias per se. There is again a fine line which you always need to keep in mind, which I am talking, because generative AI, if you see, there are so much of automation and there are so much of insights, predictive analysis, which is good. But at the same time, let us see the downfalls of it as well, because you need to know how you can be on the hierarchy so that you will be on top rather than not the AI being on top. Again, this is another dual perspective, AI in social media marketing. Coming back to AI in what I do it. So if you see the AI, we cannot escape AI. So for example, we all have the smartphone here. We use the face identification, the iris scanner or the fingerprint. So we have AI in our day-to-day lives, like the car that you can see here. It is now launched with a LiDAR sensor. It knows when to stop, when to start, or the NASA engine that has recently been launched, which is the first unmanned aircraft. So why, as Kaushik was talking on black box, right? If you are using an AI and you don't know why it functions the way it functions, you are in soup, because it can always pull your leg. Social media is never a joke. So when we started doing AI, we started to diagnose or crack the black box, because the rationale behind the predictions of it are not understood very clearly. So to overcome the black box dilemma, what we started doing is we started utilizing human intelligence. So utilizing human intelligence in artificial intelligence. It's called human in the loop training. So what is it? It is just like a human anatomy of CNS and PNS. You can see the AI algorithm that I usually make are all HITL, human in the loop training. It has to undergo a similar baby growth. So I would advocate more of this, where for example there are two human interfaces. One is the humans will teach it. Another thing is the humans will always validate it, because at the end, in the court of law, it's the human signature that matters, and AI can't come and defend you. So we use a lot of human training models like this, where you can see that we train the machines, and then the machine starts to learn with the AI algorithm, and then the predictions happen. Again there, the human will also have to validate it and put a signature. That is important. If it is wrong, then it has to go back to the module again, and these are some of the modules. Explainable AI is the future, be it for social media, marketing, or for anything. If you are not having an explainable AI model, it is always a tricky part. So all our work or my work that I am doing at my center are all explainable AI. So this is recently a multimodal imaging that we started, where why does the green pick up the trabecular meshwork? Why does the yellow pick up the scleral spur? And we are trying to form a multimodal protractor, and that has to be explainable. You can see that this is a novel protractor that we have recently innovated for the UBM, the Anterion, the ASOCD, the Sheemflug, and we are evaluating it again. And you also always need to have an explainability with good sensitivity and specificity. Even if it is going to be for a social media thing that you have, you need to know what is the AI sensitivity, what is the AI specificity, what are the things that I can have, as how can it actually cause trouble or something like that. Because again, you can see if this image I am going to feed it in, so this is what you need to know about AI. Because first, in the initial stages, the actual angle is 24.76. As I told you, right, the AI is learning. Now it is 27.9. In the second set, the same 24.76 is now coming 22. There is only a 2 difference. Now in the third one, you can see it's as close as possible. With human in the loop, you can always feed the machine more data, and you can customize the machine according to your preference. It will be something like your mirror image. So for example, when you launch any applications or other things, this is our own image that we are putting into the app that we made. So once you put this into the app, you can see that automatically you will get whether it is open angle or a closed angle and what are the angles. But it looks as if it's automatic, but a lot of human brain or human intelligence has gone along with the artificial intelligence. Again, this is another bimodal AI for OCT that we made, where we use the visual marker and the numerical markers. You can see the code. So this has been made by humans. It feels as if the machine is going to do the job, but the code, both the visual and the digital input, has been made by the humans to take it forward and then diagnose whether it is severe, mild, or moderate. There are so much of human intelligence that is going in. So I always recommend HITL compared to the generative AI, because HITL, human in the loop learning, will always have your back. Definitely it's finally you that have to take care of it. But HITL is very promising. It helps you undergo a similar growth just like a human being. And some of our AI you saw diagnosis and intricate findings. We have the fundus, we have for the angle to differentiate between glaucoma, then we have the OCT to grade. So when you have holistic AI, it really helps you in a comprehensive working up of the patient, and you can keep working on more. So now we are moving towards mixed analysis, mixed angle analysis, where different KDB or bank, they have all different anatomies. So keeping in mind the technological advancements, it seems like this is the future. And where you can use generative AI is, I'll show this video again. So for example, so this is my startup. I'm just winding up in a minute or so. So hi, I'm Dr. Prasanna, AI clone. Somebody wants to approach me. Maybe you can have your own website, and this is my startup. So somebody wants to connect with me, like you have this right in Indigo, you have this in all the customer call that you try to see. So if somebody wants to know about me, so what has he done, so how can I approach him, so where is he now, so maybe you can do something like this. If somebody wants to know where you are, I want an appointment to meet him, so he's currently in Bali attending the APAO conference. So something like this you can customize, so that we all like to be active in social media, right? So these are some things that you can actually make sure you do it, and it will be very active and it will be going on well. So these are some things that you can, short and simple innovative things which will really work out for you. Of course, there are some simulations that we have done. I'll skip it because it's beyond the scope. But I always advocate AI which you can control, and these are some of my innovations and some of my presentations on HITL and not on generative AI, because you dive into an experimental generative AI, it is always tricky. But I think you would have seen this video here in AO is playing. So last year, 2 days back, they wanted a video of mine. I just gave it one. So I just put 4-5 photographs together, and if you want to make a quick video, I think then that's okay. You want to make a collection of videos. Everybody has a smartphone where you have those quick videos, right? You want to make all your AO's memories a video. I think those things are perfectly fine. Those are all generative AI. The machine knows how to pick up quickly, and it gives you a good AI. So in this era, this is one image I think you all would be knowing. With this, I'll be closing my presentation. In 2022, this was a cover page image that I published in 2022 AIOS conference. We took around, 4 to 5 days to make this image. It was not a generative AI, and this is how we made the image. I wanted to show you why generative AI is dangerous. We took a patient's photograph. We had to have the ambient lighting. We took the photograph from a side angle with an endoscope, hit the light with the Perkin's image, and you can see we manually worked on this. This is a ACRS, there is an After Effect category for it. They ask you how do you make the image. So these are some things where human intelligence is playing a major role, my dear friends. This is taking away our creativity. You can see how we are removing the reflection part. You are able to see the reflection part. I forwarded this video because I can't show the 5 days of work that went in creating this. Then you can see how we worked on the edges, how we are working on. It's like manual drawing, but it is like a digital drawing. You can see how the shadows are removed, how it is being worked, and see how we are going to give the periphery, the edges, and what not. So this brings the creativity out. There is something called digital creativity also, which is very, very important. And you can see that now we are adding on the stars, and you can see that finally how the image comes. It is always easy to type, can I get an eye starry sky? And the AI may give you something like this. But the joy in creating something from this to something like this and get it printed on a cover page image on the biggest national level podium, it's something really huge. I don't really advocate generative AI for this. So finally what we do is all for the community. Make sure we protect ourselves first, and social media is something that is booming. And these are some of my social media handles. Always be caution. We are working together, but at the same time, I would always say, if an algorithm is going to come, which is going to terrorism or something like that, algorithm is destroy all the living human beings, that is dangerous for that. I'm not telling it is going to happen, but there are movies like Terminator and I, Robot, where if the machine starts to think, that is something we all don't know. So with that message, I'll end this talk. Thank you once again for the opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Prasanna, and it's always inspiring to see the hard work even before, even with the use of AI, you are training them with your own brain. I would like to invite comments from Digvijay sir and Priya ma'am. The purpose of this talk also was to in most of the cases when you give your social media marketing to an agency, most of the time they are using some generic images to do that. So if they are doing the generic images, there is no creativity, then why to pay them and why not to use an AI to do the same thing for us? So your comments on that.
So I think so there are two aspects to it, what Prasanna said, but even to generate the generative AI images, you do require creativity to decide what you want to tell it, because it's going to give you only as good as the input that you ask for it. Right? The question you ask is important. So even for that social media company that you may be hiring is probably using its creativity to decide what it wants to do next for you, though the image may be a generic image that it picks up off Google or anywhere. So if you're willing to do that, I think there is nobody can be a better person marketing for yourself than yourself. Perfect. Actually. So that's what would be the right way to follow.
I think that's well said, sir. Nobody can market you better than you, and you can give agencies, but the thing is you just need to be sure that you are safe, because ultimately we need to take care of that element also.
I can only, I can decide what I want to show and what I want to showcase. So nobody else can do it. I think sir has already said it.
So I think sir has put it very right.
Very well. He's put it very well.
The person has to be on the hierarchy so that the AI is controlled by the human rather than the AI controlling the human.
Absolutely. I agree.
So with the current scenario, everything every smartphone now that is coming with AI to enhance its capability, but still